families became such a big part of my life.
After law school, she could have gone to a big firm, but instead went to work for the Children's Defense Fund. In Arkansas, she fought for school reform to change lives forever. Then as First Lady, she helped get health care for 8 million kids. You probably know the rest. The senator who made sure the heroes and families of 9/11 got the care they needed. The Secretary of State who joined the cabinet of the man who defeated her. Because when your president calls, you serve. And now a new title, Grandma.
I believe that when families are strong, America is strong. It's your time. I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
I'm Natalie Tennant, and I approve this message. Where do they think their electricity comes from? You and I know it's our hard-working West Virginia coal miners that power America. I've fought to protect our coal jobs right alongside Joe Manchin, and I'll stand up to leaders of both parties who threaten our way of life. I'll make sure President Obama gets the message.
Hi, I'm Bob. I am running for Iowa's open seat in the U.S. Senate. Term limits for Congress need to become the 28th Amendment to our U.S. Constitution. I believe in every aspect of our Constitution, which even a baby knows includes the Second Amendment. If you are the sexual predator and sociopath who murdered my sister Lynette, and you come to my front door to do harm to my girls, I'm going to use my Glock to blow your balls off. Liberals like Bruce Braley want to restrict our gun rights, including this magazine with 15 bullets. As Iowa's next U.S. Senator, I shall defend every piece of the U.S. Constitution, which, as Emory just taught Mr. Braley, includes the right to bear arms found in the Bill of Rights. Now, please do not confuse me with Iowa's Republican candidate for U.S. Senate. Congressman Braley, you have nothing to fear, as we are friendly folks here in Iowa. Please accept my open invitation for a public debate prior to our June 3rd primary. I will leave my gun at home. Joni can leave her knife on the farm, as long as you agree to leave your elite law degree in D.C. We'll just use our brains to debate your reckless laws and taxes like Braley Care, including common sense solutions to clean up your messes. I am Bob Quast, just a simple problem solver from Iowa who never went to law school, but I did create and approve this video.
Millions of dollars of negative ads are flooding into Alaska, paid for by Washington special interests. Pretty soon, you're going to want to do this to your TV. I proposed a plan to stop all the mudslinging from outsiders so we can keep this election focused on the issues. Unfortunately, Mark Begich said no. I'm Dan Sullivan, and I approve this message because Mark Begich should tell his D.C. friends to stay out of Alaska.
She's not your typical candidate. Conservative Joni Ernst, mom, farm girl, and a lieutenant colonel who carries more than just lipstick in her purse. Joni Ernst will take aim at wasteful spending, and once she sets her sights on Obamacare, Joni's gonna unload. Oh, and one more thing, Joni doesn't miss much.
Give me a shot. I'm Joni Ernst, and I approve this message.
We need a congressman who does what he says.
Desjardins did.
Someone who'll deliver.
Desjardins did.
Deja who? Did Deja what?
Desjardins, the doctor. Scott Desjardins did. Scott Desjardins did exactly what he said he would do. He fought to cut wasteful spending, cut the debt, and is fighting to repeal Obamacare.
Well, Desjardins has my vote.
Now you're talking.
I'm Scott Desjardins, and I approve this message.
You're not a victim. You're a patriot. You're an opportunist. Let's take advantage of it, okay?
They don't listen to me. You know, I've been talking to these guys forever, and they still do not listen. Unbelievable.
You know, all these guys want is they want more shelter, they want more feed, but yet the government's making it harder on me. They're taxing me to death. I can't afford to build that. When I don't build it, they think I owe it to them. See, all you guys want, you want a handout. I don't have something in it, now you're getting mad again, okay? Years ago, we didn't have this problem, but now it's just a hassle to get them to do anything. Don't turn your head. I know you're embarrassed because you're part of the problem, all right? But we can turn it around. These donkeys don't live in the United States of France. They live in the United States of America. They're going to have to get with it. You all heard me talk about the Constitution. Have you ever heard of the Constitution? It's a great document. They keep thinking that Obama's going to take care of them, that Obama's going to feed them, Obama's going to build their barn. Look, if I can get Obama out of health care and we start that, I can get these teeth fixed that you got, okay? I can get them fixed, all right? But he's got to get away. He's got to let me do the things I need to do. See those big ears? He still can't hear me. Unbelievable. I got to tell you guys something. I'll be honest with you. It's a lot easier to feed elephants than it is donkeys, okay? And if I have to trade you in for elephants, I'll do it.
I don't think Mitt Romney understands what he's done to people's lives by closing the plant. I don't think he realizes that people's lives completely changed. When Mitt Romney and Bain closed the plant, I lost my health care. And my family lost their health care. And a short time after that, my wife became ill. I don't know how long she was sick. And I think maybe she didn't say anything because she knew that we couldn't afford the insurance. And then one day she became ill, and I took her up to the Jackson County Hospital and admitted her for pneumonia, and that's when they found the cancer. And by then it was stage 4. There was nothing they could do for her. And she passed away in 22 days. I do not think Mitt Romney realizes what he's done to anyone. And furthermore, I do not think Mitt Romney is concerned.
Priorities USA Action is responsible for the content of this advertising.
3 months after we were married, my husband was shot down over Hanoi.
Paul and I were married in 1963. 2 years later, he was shot down over North Vietnam.
All of the prisoners of war in North Vietnam were tortured in order to obtain confessions of atrocities.
On the other hand, John Kerry came home and accused all Vietnam veterans of unspeakable horrors.
John Kerry gave aid and comfort to the enemy by advocating their negotiating points to our government.
Why is it relevant? Because John Kerry is asking us to trust him.
I will never forget John Kerry's testimony. If we couldn't trust John Kerry then, how could we possibly trust him now?
Swift Vets and POWs for Truth are responsible for the content of this advertisement.
Strengthening education begins with us, not with government. Parents simply have to get involved and take responsibility to make sure that their children study and learn. But government has to take responsibility for what it can do. Fix failing schools, reduce the class size, set high standards for students and for teachers. We're in an information age. We have a responsibility to make sure that our schools are the very best in the entire world.
It's 3 a.m. and your children are safe and asleep. But there's a phone in the White House and it's ringing. Something's happening in the world. Your vote will decide who answers that call. Whether it's someone who already knows the world's leaders, knows the military, someone tested and ready to lead in a dangerous world. It's 3 a.m. and your children are safe and asleep. Who do you want answering the phone?
I'm Hillary Clinton, and I approve this message.
The Janesville, Wisconsin General Motors plant. A simple promise, simply broken.
But I also know how much progress you've made, how many hybrids and fuel-efficient vehicles you're churning out, and I believe that if our government is there to support you and give you the assistance you need to retool and make this transition, that this plant will be here for another 100 years.
At that moment, a simple promise was made. In October 2008, when it was clear the plant would close, he said, "As president, I will lead an effort to retool plants like the GM facility in Janesville." A promise made a second time. The simple facts: promises made on the campaign trail, promises broken in Washington. Just ask the people of Janesville, Wisconsin.
In 2008, I voted for President Obama with no reluctance. He presented himself as something different.
I had hoped that the new president would bring new jobs, not major layoffs, not people going through major foreclosures on their homes.
He did get his health care through, but at what cost?
He said he was going to cut the deficit in his first term. I've seen zero interest in reducing spending. He inherited a bad situation, but he made it worse.
I think he's a great person. I don't feel he is the right leader for our country, though.
I still believe in hope and change. I just don't think Obama's the way to go for that.
The president has not earned re-election in 2012, in my book.
I've seen his now definition of hope and change. It's not the hope and change I want. It's not the hope and change I thought I was going to get. I don't feel that I helped my grandchildren by voting for President Obama, and I regret that.
Americans for Prosperity is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm Barack Obama, and I approve this message.
It started like this.
I speak the language of business. I know how jobs are created.
But it ended like this. One of the worst economic records in the country. When Mitt Romney was governor, Massachusetts lost 40,000 manufacturing jobs, a rate twice the national average, and fell to 47th in job creation, 4th from the bottom. Instead of hiring workers from his own state, Romney outsourced call center jobs to India. He cut taxes for millionaires like himself while raising them on the middle class, and left the state $2.6 billion deeper in debt. So now, when Mitt Romney talks about what he'd do as president,
I know what it takes to create jobs.
Remember, we've heard it all before.
I know how jobs are created.
Romney Economics. It didn't work then, and it won't work now.
Good news! Republicans want to cut your taxes. Not you. You! And you deserve a break. After all, these things are expensive. So Republicans want to give you, the millionaire, another tax break, all while charging seniors $6,000 more for Medicare. This guy? Her? They don't need it. They'll just buy groceries and pay the mortgage. But you're going places, and Congresswoman Mary Bono Mack will knock down anyone in your way. The Democratic Congressional Campaign Committee is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I'm getting ready for a lot of things. A lot of things.
It's spring, so we're starting to get the gardens ready, and my tomatoes are legendary here in my own neighborhood.
My daughter is about to start kindergarten next year, and so we're moving just so she can belong to a better school.
Mi hermano y yo estamos empezando un primer negocio.
Vaya. After 5 years of raising my children, I am now going back to work.
Every day we're trying to get more ready and more prepared.
Baby boy, coming your way.
Right now I'm applying for jobs. It's a look into what the real world will look like after college.
I'm getting married this summer to someone I really care about.
I'm gonna be in the play and I'm gonna be in a fish costume. From little tiny fishes.
I'm getting ready to retire soon. Retirement means reinventing yourself in many ways.
Well, we've been doing a lot of home renovations.
But most importantly, we really just want to teach our dog to quit eating the trash.
And so we have high hopes for 2015 that that's going to happen.
I've started a new career recently. This is a 5th generation company, which means a lot to me. This country was founded on hard work, and it really feels good to be a part of that.
I'm getting ready to do something too. I'm running for president. Americans have fought their way back from tough economic times, but the deck is still stacked in favor of those at the top. Everyday Americans need a champion, and I want to be that champion. So you can do more than just get by. You can get ahead and stay ahead, because when families are strong, America is strong. So I'm hitting the road to earn your vote, because it's your time. And I hope you'll join me on this journey.